Hello, my name is Chris Wise, and welcome to Scaling Up, Unleashing the Power of Your Business. So who should be paying attention right now? Is this a right fit for you to listen to? Well, if your business has already achieved a certain level of success, if you have at least one profitable sales channel, if your business has revenues of at least $500,000 to $5 million, if your business infrastructure is available via the cloud, and here's a big one, if you're open to expanding how you look at your business and how its growth is put into action, then you're in the right place. These are the types of clients that we work with. They may have a business that they want to grow on its own so that the owner can step away or reduce his or her involvement. They have a business that they want to increase its valuation so that it can be sold. They want their business and themselves to be in their space of greatness and strength. They want to make a greater impact, to have better systems and processes, to have better financial clarity, revenue, and profit. They want to feel more in control and on purpose. And they want to feel healthy, empowered, and centered through the process of building an amazing business. I'd like to introduce to you Kindness Yoga. They are a client of ours that's had some pretty significant results. So what did Kindness Yoga want? Well, Kindness Yoga was looking to expand its business nationwide. And to do that, there were some very key infrastructure things that they needed to address. Specifically, they were looking for greater clarity and definition in their roles and responsibilities. They needed clarity and better management of their cash flow and profitability. They wanted to improve their relationship with their investors so that they could attract in more money. They wanted to positively impact more people through the teaching of yoga and the building of yoga communities. They wanted to expand, but they didn't know the best way how. They were looking for a more systematic approach to growth, and they knew they needed help. So now I'm going to share with you some fundamental underlying issues that we see that hold back growth. 1, a lack of structure and organization. 2, a company that has all the pieces for success but doesn't know how to organize them optimally. 3, there's an awareness of the key building blocks of growth, but they're not sure of the right order to put them in. There's a lacking of clarity on what's actually holding them back from greater success and growth. Now, there's 2 paradigms that I frequently see inside of companies that are holding them back from greater success. The first one is this paradigm of sell, 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 sell. And these are organizations that have bought in only to the focus of selling and driving revenue growth, but haven't realized or don't know how or understand the impact, how not focusing on their internal infrastructure and how they're fulfilling on their orders and systems and processes, how that's actually impacting them from not selling more. The second paradigm that I frequently see is the relationship that many business owners actually have with their business. So often I see entrepreneurs who want their business to just serve them. Now, there's nothing wrong with having your business serve you, but if your real relationship with your business is just to build it up so that it can serve your lifestyle, that is actually a limitation for you growing your business even more. And I've seen this in companies that have reached revenues of $100,000, $200,000, $500,000, even $10 million in revenue. So if you have a relationship where the main driving factor is so that your business can actually serve your lifestyle, this is subtly undermining the results that you can actually create. These are some of the key challenges and problems that our clients face that we help them solve. There's too many balls being dropped. The company is being run on the owner's gut feeling. But that gut feeling isn't actually being fed by healthy data, metrics, or reports. There's no clarity in the bottom line, in cash flow or profitability. And there's bank account balance thinking. They don't feel in control of the business. They feel like they're spinning their wheels. Maybe they're growing too fast or working too hard. Or perhaps they're not growing fast enough, but they keep striving and striving and striving. There's an ineffectiveness at getting things done. There's a lack of having a project management system, or maybe there is a project management system, but it isn't being used effectively. And in many cases, there's a lack of accountability. Many of our clients face a lack of good internal communication. And the strategy, culture, mission, vision, values, profitability, and the growth methodology, they're either not defined, not clear, and they're definitely not all aligned. These are some of the key challenges that our clients face externally. Their clients or customers are not being served effectively, and maybe that shows up as high refunds or a poor service rating. Their relationship with their investors is poor. There's no communication at all. Their partners, vendors, and support resources are not being held to standards that truly support what the company needs. When we first started working with Kindness Yoga, these were the challenges that we were looking to overcome. They were a family-run business with few systems in place. There was little tracking of income and profitability. They were not on top of their KPIs, and they didn't have a system that brought them all together. There was a disconnect between their culture and the clarity of their mission. Their roles and responsibilities weren't defined. An entire division of their company was siloed, and the owner, Patrick, was not in his optimal role. Kindness Yoga needed a plan and a guide. So now I'm going to share with you a little bit about my background. I've been an entrepreneur for over 25 years. I've sold 2 of my own companies. I'm an author and international speaker. And I've created hundreds of different types of systems, including sales, marketing, fulfillment, HR, project management, and more. And over this 25 years, I've coached and consulted with hundreds of different business owners, CEOs, and entrepreneurs in a wide variety of different industries. In running and growing my own companies, I know how challenging this struggle can be. Balancing everything that needs to be done, taking care of my people, taking care of my emotional and physical health, and ensuring that there's constant revenue and profit growth. It's so easy to get overwhelmed and burned out. And having worked with hundreds of companies, I have developed a very unique perspective in seeing how all the different moving parts, how all the different pieces of the puzzle fit together. I innately and experientially know the right sequence and order for the pieces of your business, the right order that they should be put in for optimal growth and profitability. Some of the systems that I've created are sales and marketing, infrastructure, time management, finance, customer service, hiring and human resources, operational and workflow, affiliate and business development, and the list goes on. Over the 25 plus years of business experience, the hundreds of different clients and CEOs that I've worked with, the hundreds of books that I've read, and the massive amount of hours in workshops and real life experience, I have developed my own unique approach to growing and scaling companies. One that pulls in the aspects of the best of all the systems that are out there. These are the 8 building blocks of scaling. People and their roles and responsibilities. Department and structure. Your communication model and structure. Project management and your internal execution structure. Technology systems. Documentation, which includes policy, procedure, and processes. Your growth methodology, and then lastly, metrics and reporting. As I go through these 8 building blocks of scaling, I'd like you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5 at how you rate at each of the building blocks, 1 being low and 5 being the highest. And at the end, we'll add all of these up. The lowest could be 8, the highest could be 40. Our first scaling building block is people and roles and responsibilities. The first is, do you have the right people on the bus? As Jim Collins put it in his book, Good to Great, the people on your bus are the people that are part of your company. Do you have clearly defined roles and held responsibilities? Do you have an organizational chart? Do you have a roles and responsibilities map? Is there grabbing or avoidance of responsibility? And is each person clear about what they're supposed to do and the results that they're expected to generate? How does your business rate in terms of its departmental structure? Again, remember to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5 for each of these. Do you have clearly defined departments? Is there departmental overlap or gaps? How well are your departments structured and operated? How well do your different departments work together? How does your business rate in its ability to scale with its communication model and structure? Do you have a communications model and meeting structure? Have you defined communication expectations and outcomes? Do you have regular meetings with your team with clear outcomes and next actions? How effective do you feel your meetings actually are? How well do you feel your team communicates with one another? How often are misunderstandings or miscommunications occurring? Next, let's take a look at the building block of project management and your internal team execution structure. How effective is your team at execution? Does your team execute with grace and precision, or confusion and uncertainty? How well are your external contractors and your partners working with your organization? Is your team effective at hitting deadlines and not missing the critical details? How does your business rate in its ability to scale with its technology systems? How well set up are your technology systems? Are you fully utilizing the capabilities your systems have? Do you have someone that ensures that they're up to date? Does each of your tech systems fulfill the needs of the departments that they're serving? Do the systems that need to communicate together communicate effectively? How does your business rate in its ability to scale with its documentation of policy, procedure, and processes? How well is your business documented? Do you have a company manual, a team manual, departmental guides? And are they actively used by your organization? Is your team clear on company expectations of policy and procedure? Do you have all of your policies documented? Do you have all of your business processes documented? Next, let's take a look at your growth methodology. Do you have a defined and clear growth methodology? Do your department heads or managers understand how the growth of the company and their departments interrelate and integrate? Does your budget align with your growth goals? How well is cash flow and profitability being managed? Do you have annual and quarterly strategic meetings? Again, rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5. How does your business rate in its ability to scale with metrics and reporting? How well integrated is metrics and reporting into your business? Do you have metrics tied to your mission statement? Are you looking at your metrics and KPIs to guide your growth methodology? Is it easy for you to drill down into the metrics? Do you have regular meetings and conversations around your metrics? Are you taking action based on the metrics data that you digest? Are you feeding your gut with healthy metrics and data? Is each person on your team clear as to what they are responsible for and what KPIs they must meet? And is there accountability about that? When we begin working with clients, this is what our overall process looks like. First, we define what our measurements for success will be. 2, we put out any scaling fires. 3, we define the owner's and key executives' ideal role so that your greatness, your true potential can be unleashed inside of your business. 4th, we put a metric to your mission statement. 5th, we define and apply the company metric framework. And then 6th, we drill down into the areas of greatest opportunity based on the scaling plan that we create. Dialing in your business and turning up the profit. Each one of the scaling building blocks is like a dial, like a knob. And we want to turn up each one of these as we go along. Your business starts off already having a specific number, 1 through 5, on each one of these. And as we go through and implement your scaling plan, we'll be cranking up the knobs 1 or 2 notches on each one of these. And as we turn them up, it increases the value of your business, it increases your revenue and profit potential. It also gives us access to turning up the knob on the next one. As we increase the lever on each one of these, it increases the value, increases revenue, and increases profit. Are we a fit to work together? These are the key things that we look for in the clients that we take on. Are you open and coachable? Are you willing to commit to the growth of your business? Really commit. Are you courageous enough to go to the next level? Are you willing to be authentic and transparent? And are you willing to slow down to speed up? And I'll talk more about that on the next slide. But I would say is one of the most important aspects, and actually the approach in which we take on scaling companies, is that we start from a place. We guide you as the CEO or the leader in your business to start from a place of self-care and self-love. If these sound like you, then perhaps you may be a good fit for us to work together. Slowing down to speed up. Here's a quote from the fifth discipline. Virtually all natural systems, from ecosystems to animals to organizations, have intrinsically optimal rates of growth. The optimal rate is far less than the fastest possible growth. When growth becomes excessive, the system itself will seek to compensate by slowing down, perhaps putting the organization's survival at risk in the process. If there was one thing that we at Wise Profits are excellent at, are masters at, it's knowing and timing the right pace of growth for your organization. There's so many different factors that are involved. And many times we see organizations that are actually trying to grow too fast. And as an impact, it's actually hurting the revenue that they're striving so hard to achieve. But knowing the right way to slow down so that you can speed up is where the mastery is, and where our advice and guidance can guide you to getting to where you want to go in the fastest and most profitable way. In working with us, Kindness Yoga has had massive success. Here's where Kindness Yoga was before they started. We had marginal success, but we knew there was much greater potential in the business. All the pieces felt scattered and disorganized. We knew we were missing out on growing the business. We felt frustrated because we didn't have the clarity to see a path to success. And this is where Kindness Yoga arrived. We feel so much more in control of our business because we are. All the pieces are connected, synergized, and running like a well-tuned machine. We feel amazingly clear. For the first time, we are energized and excited about the direction and growth of our company.
I feel a greater potential in myself as a leader and feel more capable of bringing our business to a better level of success. And a lot of that stemmed from working with Chris. One of the number one things that working with Chris brought into our organization was a culture around accountability. You know, we're a yoga studio, we're called Kindness. We had a culture around clear communication. We have really strong values, but we didn't have an active role for accountability, which meant we were often ineffective in accomplishing things. And so if nothing else, our work with Chris and the call to accountability, putting systems in place to hold one another accountable, generating that current through our culture, we're a more effective business now than we'd ever been. Yeah, another incredible shift that occurred and was generated through our work with Chris was I would just call it goal setting. We started to get we've always had big goals, we've always had big dreams, but it's easy to flounder, it's easy to get caught up in trying a million different little things to achieve your dreams without a lot of focus. And so through our work with Chris, we got into the rhythm of quarterly strategic meetings, establishing quarterly goals, all rolling up into annual goals. And that put a fine tune on what we prioritized in a way that we hadn't experienced before. Before we started our work with Chris, I felt proud of Kindness Yoga and excited about what we were up to in the world, but not sure how we were going to achieve our goals. And I feel like when you spend years and years and years not confident about achieving your goals, that can start to whittle away at your inspiration, at your motivation, and at your overall satisfaction. And so through working with Chris, what suddenly became attainable were the big dreams. And inside of that was a renewed inspiration and confidence for me. And, I see my role as CEO in part inspirer and motivator. And in order for me to do that effectively, I need to be inspired, I need to be motivated. And so I feel like our work with Chris gave me access to that through putting frameworks, structures, and clear workable steps in place to start achieving goals. What I want anyone to know who is pursuing business coaching with Chris Wise, or honestly with anyone, it's to not worry about whether or not your coach has all the answers or knows your industry perfectly or even gets it right every time. Just having somebody who's taking a stand for your business being better, someone who's taking a stand for you stepping into your power, that's enough. That's the jumping off point. There are things that we're up to in our business now that were generated by Chris, even if they're a slight variation on the theme. And it's clear to me that part of why we got there was from our work together. So I'd say if you're considering working with Chris, go for it. It doesn't matter if it's the perfect fit, because any kind of energy that he gives you is going to expand you in your business.
If you're considering taking your business to the next level, I would strongly consider signing onto a contract with Wise Profits. And I would encourage you to do it for a year's time. I would out the gate, if you could, commit to doing a year, because you're going to likely be uncomfortable with parts of the process. And you're going to be inviting somebody who's willing to work with you in a way that may be outside of your scope up until now, is going to suggest things that may have your organization look very different than it's looked to you in the past, and may threaten some of the things that your ego has wrapped up in the way that you've done it up until now. And I want you to breathe and make that commitment for a longer period of time, so that you can go through your wave of excited and challenged or overwhelmed by the scope of the change that's coming. But know that if you keep your eye on the prize of the difference that that you can make as an entrepreneur, and the difference that that your organization is up to, and you exhale and you surrender a bit into the knowledge and the structures and the rigor that Chris is going to bring to the table, that you'll be going someplace that you couldn't go on your own. And that Chris will come in as a teammate and a partner to you, and really and be a safe place for you to disagree with, a safe place for you to get triggered with, and a safe place to have a transformation occur. It's hard to convey the scope and the depth of the changes in my life that occurred through working together. And I just want you to know that I, on a regular basis, in the past month, have found myself just really pinching myself and be like, what? Whose life is this that I'm living? Because so much of the stress that I had just started to get used to and get comfortable, like, traffic on a busy street that I might live on, and just be like, what traffic, what stress? This is the way that business feels. This is the way that my business feels. I don't have that. I'm so spacious in the way that I approach my business, because we helped to train the right people for the right roles, and that included myself. So I feel blessed with how much space and health, like healthy living, I have in my world, that is a direct result of the steps that we took together.
In the end, this is what success can look like for your organization. You outperform the competition. You're recognized in your industry for success and excellence. All parts of your business are connected and in sync. You're able to sell your company at its greatest valuation. Or perhaps you now have a company that can grow on its own without your active involvement or as much as you'd like. The fear around whether or not you will succeed is gone. You have clarity and definiteness on what your business is best at in the world. Your vision is clear and in action, and you are in your ideal role as the CEO or leader in your company. There is failure in not taking action. These are some of the biggest mistakes that we see that stop companies that could have tremendous success and growth. The first mistake is thinking that your company is actually not ready to scale. Scaling is a thought process that should begin at day one of your business. You should be constantly scaling your company. 2, waiting to get things in line before taking action. Waiting to get things in line, a lot of that stuff that you think might actually need to be organized and get in place before you're ready to scale, those things are actually scaling. Those are the things getting organized, putting the structure, putting the systems, all of those different things are part of the scaling process. There's nothing that's outside of what scaling actually is and what we actually do to help you grow your business. A belief that you don't have enough time to address business growth and scaling. And if this is something that you think that you don't have enough time, then this is something that is deadly to your business. It's critical that you take the time to work on your business, not just in your business. This scaling work is working on your business. This 20% of your time will actually give you the greatest amount of success long term in how your business is growing. Now let's take a look at our scaling programs. We have 3 different packages based on the revenue of your company. We have our basic program, which is for companies that are 100,000 to 1 million. Our essential program, which are companies that are 1 million to 10 million. And our professional program, which is companies that are above 10 million. Now, this doesn't mean that if you have revenues that are in the 100,000 to 1 million that you can't do the essential package, or if you have revenues that are 1 to 10 million that you couldn't do the basic package. These are just general guidelines that will help you figure out which is the best package for you. In our basic package, it includes a scalingness readiness assessment, systems definition, and weekly consulting sessions. The minimum duration is 12 months. The investment is $2,500 a month. And if paid 12 months in advance, there's a 15% discount for a total of $25,500. Our essential package for companies 1 million to 10 million includes a detailed scaling readiness assessment, detailed systems definition, development and implementation plan, weekly consulting sessions, detailed KPI development, and every quarter doing a 1 full day strategy session to map out and plan the next quarter and what will be accomplished. The minimum duration is 12 months. The investment is $5,000 a month. And if paid in advance, 15% off for a total of $51,000 for the year. For the professional package, companies above 10 million, it includes a detailed scaling readiness assessment, detailed systems definition, development and implementation plan, bi-weekly consulting sessions 2 times per month, detailed KPI development, quarterly strategic meetings, which is a 1-day strategy and progress review and plan adjustment, scaling champion training and weekly consulting, monthly executive briefing and progress review. Minimum duration is 12 months. The investment is $7,500 a month, and the total of paid in advance is $76,500, which saves you 15%. Here's what some of our clients are saying. This is Christopher Hawker. Meeting Chris was like striking gold, or like getting access to a missing part of my brain. Chris helped me in streamlining my design business and sort out how to effectively manage my 5 companies. Results have been immediate and substantial. He's truly a thought leader. I can't recommend him enough. 5 stars. Ray Higdon, the CEO of the Higdon Group. Chris has been tremendously successful with our operational needs and creating better structure for our company. Chris understands metrics, strategy, and creating a big vision, which has impacted us in a powerful way. Zach Kaufman, CEO of One Digital World. Chris is a valuable asset to us as he provided much needed guidance and advice while we work to focus our efforts scaling our business. His objective, top-down view greatly contributed to our allocation of resources in the most effective manner possible. So let's talk. If you'd like to further explore us working together, go to calendly.com www.chris Wise, and we can schedule a 30-minute session for us to talk about your business and where you actually want to head. You can also go to wiseprofits.net and see how I've helped other companies grow in ways they've never expected possible. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing your business succeed.